Breaking news! A flying metal bird was spotted cruising to the sky. But how does it not fall with all the weight that it has? Today, we welcome Professor from the MALAUS research to explain how a plane flies. Is it magic or is it a metal bird mutation? Wow, we have to find out from the professor.
Good morning everyone who's watching Berita Setiap Hari. I am the head engineer of the MALAUS research. These are my co-workers. Today, we're gonna talk about how planes fly.
So, what actually makes a giant metal machine lift off the ground and fly? It all begins with Newton's third law. This law says, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. And that means if you push on something, it pushes back on you, with the same force but in the opposite direction. This law is behind all four forces that make a plane fly: thrust, lift, weight, and drag. Thrust. When a plane's engine pushes air backwards, the plane is pushed forwards. This forward motion is called thrust, and is the first key to flight.
How does a plane fly? The answer is lift, and it comes from the wings. Wings are shaped in a special way, which is airfoil. The top is curved and the bottom is more flat. So when air flows over the wing, it goes faster on top and slower underneath. Faster air means less pressure. Slower air means more pressure. So the air under the wings pushes up harder than the air above it, and that creates lift. Imagine you're in a moving car and you stick your hand out of the window. If you tilt your hand, it feels a little lift, right? That's exactly what a wing is doing, just way better.
But moving through air isn't easy. The air pushes back. We call this drag. Drag is air resistance. It fights against the plane's motion, trying to slow it down. The faster you go, the more the air tries to stop you. And that's why planes are built to be aerodynamic. And finally, there's weight. The force of gravity pulling the plane down. Planes are heavy. They carry people, fuel, engines, wings, and cargo. So, for a plane to fly, lift must be stronger than weight.
Now, let's get through how a jet engine works. A jet engine is like a giant metal tube that works using 4 simple steps: suck, squeeze, burn, and blow. Firstly is suck. First, a big fan at the front pull in air, kind of like a vacuum cleaner sucking air in. Secondly is squeeze. That air is then squeezes tighter and tighter using spinning blades, like pressing air into a smaller and smaller space, building out a pressure. Next, the engine spray flew into a compressed air and light it. Boom! It explodes like a small fireball. Not enough to destroy, but enough to create a lot of power. Lastly is blow. Finally, the hot air rushes out a bag at super high speed, and just like a balloon fly forward when air shoots out the bag, the engine pushes the plane forwards. And that's it! Air in, squeeze it, burn it, blow it out, and the plane fly forward. That's simple, right?
We already know the main theory, Newton's third law. But have you ever wondered, how does a plane actually take off, climb into the sky, and turn left or right? Let's break it down. When the plane starts moving fast on the runway, the wings begin to create lift. The faster the plane moves, the more lift builds up under the wings. At some point, the lift becomes strong enough to beat gravity, and just like that, the plane leaves the ground. So takeoff happens. Taking off is just the start. How does the plane actually go high into the sky? That's where the elevator comes in, a small flap on the tail. When the pilot tilts the elevator up, the back of the plane gets pushed down, the nose goes up. The wings now meet the air at a steeper angle, and that angle creates even more lift, so the plane starts to climb. Lastly, how does it turn? Each wing has a tiny flap called aileron. They move in opposite directions, one up, one down. That makes one wing lift more, the other less. The plane leans or banks. And when it leans, it doesn't just go up, it starts moving sideways. That's a turn. The rudder on the tail helps the nose swing around smoothly, like steering a boat.
Let's talk about aerodynamics. Aerodynamics is how air flows around the plane. The smoother the shape, the easier it slices to the air. A good aerodynamic shape means less drag, more speed, and better lift. That's what aerodynamics design does. It helps the plane move faster, smoother, and higher. Even birds have aerodynamics bodies. Nature figured it out before we. And that's the story of how plants fly. No magic, just science. Thanks for watching Barita Satyabhari, where we keep it simple, smart, and little silly.